Where is it that you are running away from something in your life and trying to cope with other things instead of coming to God? You know, it's His kindness that lets us know, hey, look, there's something there, Lisa, there's something that we need to look at. Will you come to me and let me help you be healed in that place, be fixed in that place? And instead, we run away from Him instead of going towards Him, right? We all do it. In this video, I'm just going to share what it looks like to actually go towards Him and run to Him instead of run away from Him, because everyday life with Him is just so much better than without Him. Hey there, I'm Lisa Berg of everydaylifewithjesus.com, where we love showing you what it looks like to do your everyday life with Jesus, empowering you to be able to do the same, to walk with Him, to talk with Him, to do everything that is in your day, knowing that Jesus is right beside you, right with you, and loves to walk through your life with you. So every one of us have places, right, where God's putting His finger on something and saying, hey, look, that old belief system, that old mindset, that old pattern is not serving you well. It's not in line with the way I created you to be. It's because of things that happened in the past, or something somebody said, or things that just don't align with the truth of what He says about us. We're still believing lies, right? And typically what we do is we try and run away, because who wants to face pain, right? I remember when my daughter was little, she'd come and she'd say, Mommy, I've got a splinter in my foot. And I go, okay, we need to dig it out, right? And she'd go, no, I'd rather walk around with the splinter in my foot for a while. And we all do this. And we walk around with the splinter in our foot for a while until it starts to get infected. And then the pain level increases, right? And then it starts to turn yellow, and there starts to be a little bubble there. And all the while, we have to make a decision. And this is the first point. We have to make a decision. Are we going to face the pain of helping it and getting that splinter out, getting that thing healed? Is it more worth to us to do that than it is to stay stuck in the pain of having the splinter, of having the thing that isn't good for us? It's an old, incorrect belief system and mindset that's holding us back. And eventually, when we get to the stage where the pain of taking it out is more beneficial to us than the pain of staying in it, then we come back to God and go, okay, God, I'm ready now. It's done, right? And I reckon in His kindness, He just so says to us, you don't have to wait till it gets all infected and half your foot wants to fall off. Come to me right at the beginning, because then I can just gently, you can trust me, I'll be gentle and kind to take the splinter out. And that's the second point. God is kind. He is good to us. He loves you. And if He's putting His finger on something in your life that needs to be dealt with, it's because He wants to help you take the splinter out before it gets all infected. So one of the things that I do is I love watching the home transformation programs, right? Where they take an old dilapidated home or a hoarder house or something, and then they redo it and it looks amazing at the end. But I know that sometimes I do this genuinely because it's the end of the day and I just want to relax. But sometimes I do it because I'm hiding away from God and going, no, I'm just going to go and watch my TV programs, because I don't really want to face what He's highlighting to me and say, hey, Lisa, can we have a look at that? And I was just sitting here and talking to Him and going, Lord, should we watch something on TV tonight? And He's like, well, what do you want your life to look like? When do you want to start setting aside time to be able to do this? And I realized that my plan was to, and what I'd like to do, is to watch those programs on a Friday night and a Saturday night, but not during the week. I want to be fully present in my week. I go to bed early and I get up early. I love to be able to do that. So that means that my night times with my family, with the special people in my life, are to be cherished, right? So I get to make a decision to actually spend time with those cherished people at night. So it was just that little, that little poke that God does. And I went, oh, okay. All right, Lord, this is not a Friday night. So instead, what can I do to spend time with the ones that I love, right? And it was just this beautiful little correction. I see it as we're in our train and we're on the right tracks, and then we just sort of hop the tracks. Sort of hop our train off the tracks, and then we're plunging through the weeds and the mud and the soil on the side of the tracks, and we're going, I wonder why it's so hard. I wonder why it's so hard. And God's going, just let me put you back on the tracks. Because as soon as you're back on the tracks, then things flow again, right? And this doesn't mean that things don't hurt when he tries to take the splinter out. It doesn't mean that it's genuinely scary to face some of the things that have perhaps kept us safe, even though they're a dysfunction and even though they might be lies. They might have kept us safe for a little while. They've certainly kept us small, but we may have felt safe in the middle of it too. And sometimes it can be super scary to look at those things. But God is kind and he's good. He's our loving Father. And I reckon that when it's time, when he knows that we are in the right place, where we can hear him, where we're ready for that healing, where we're ready to be able to come and say, oh, all right, it's time to take the splinter out of our foot. That there's just so much grace around that. There's so much, he's kind to us. He makes the circumstances kind to us. He highlights and gives us wisdom on how to walk out of those things and into health and wholeness. He just packs everything so full of his goodness to help us to move from the lies to the truth, from the dysfunction to proper function, from struggling to his easy yoke, right? Jesus said, my yoke is light. My yoke is easy. My burden is light, right? And we get to take it. We get to take the heavy stuff that's on our shoulders, take it off, and put his light and easy yoke on instead. So, my friend, I want to encourage you today that if you feel that little nudge from God to go, hey, perhaps you don't get to be that nasty to that person all the time, or that conversation that you're having roll over and over and over in your head that just makes you feel bad. Well, you don't actually have to think about it all the time. Let me show you why you reacted that way, why you felt that way, and let's work in it so that you don't have to react that way anymore, or that thing doesn't hurt you so much anymore, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, my friends, it's a process. It is sore to get the splinter out. But hey, so much better to get the splinter out early than wait for your foot to want to fall off from the infection, right? So I want to encourage you to go on this adventure with Jesus, to let him show you the places that aren't working, that aren't the truth of what he says about you in your life, and let him do some surgery, take the lie out, take the splinter out, and give you the truth of what he says instead, and let that wound heal. The scar will always be there, but that's a testimony to say, you know what, this is where I was hurt, but God came and helped me through it and out of it, and I've got the scars to tell the story. Such a beautiful invitation for him. So as always, Jesus is inviting you on this adventure today. Will you accept? Please like and share and subscribe to these videos and this channel. Let's send good news around the world of how we get to walk through everyday life with Jesus, wherever you are, no matter what your circumstances, where you live, what country you are, how much money you've got or haven't got. None of those things matter. As Jesus is with you, you get to walk through everyday life with him. So bless you, bless you, bless you, and I'll see you next time.